monopoly, everybody benefits.
A determined Mr. Botten arrived in the country from Australia last Saturday to provide clarity on two things. The first was the linkage between the PNG government's purchasing of Oil Search shares, thus effecting a stake in all potential gas reserves that Oil Search is partnered to.
And there's no doubt the last couple of weeks have turned the lights on PNG, and there have been a lot of questions by investors from around the world. Fair enough too, but I know that it's very healthy to have the debate within the country.
The second was a stake buyout in the Elk and Antelope gas fields, a promising project that Oil Search had decided to buy into, and one that has now led to a dispute with their joint venture partner Interoil.
I certainly said that I think it's the largest undeveloped resource in PNG right now. And that's right, and that's why we're very interested in taking a material stake in it, because we believe sensible development of Elk Antelope will deliver at least 2 more trains to PNG and to Oil Search. And so, although I think Elk Antelope has still got a long way to go in terms of its appraisal and development, we're very excited about the potential of the field, and that's why we're paying, we think, a good number for that potential, and very keen to see it develop quickly.
For the past 2 weeks, the PNG media, public and social media commentators have been relentless in criticizing the state's initial investment decision and venture with the International Petroleum Investment Company, or IPIC, all of which culminated in the scrutiny of the UBS loan by the Ombudsman Commission.
Again, that's a decision for IPIC, and whether government wanted to buy back those shares or not was a government decision. Frankly, it's a very sensible way, and I think the government approached it sensibly, to be able to have discussions with IPIC about a potential buyback. If they believe in the future of Oil Search and the value growth in Oil Search, it was a reasonable discussion to have with IPIC. IPIC is a sovereign wealth fund. They had a view that they liked the value of the shares, and they saw that the value growth potential of the shares was substantial. So the reality was they didn't wish to sell. The actual nature of the deal between IPIC and the government, the actual structure of that deal, I frankly don't know. It's not our deal.
While Mr. Botten is highly optimistic of the future growth of the company, he also said that the fact IPIC has refused to sell its shares back to the government of PNG was a testament of the expected value of Oil Search shares in the future, something PNG will benefit from greatly.
I just want to draw a line to say that we're very supportive in having the government, the state, as an Oil Search shareholder, but that's their decision. We think it brings value to the state, but we also think it brings value to Oil Search. How they finance that is really up to the state, and we had nothing to do with their financing. What I do think is important, though, is for everybody to actually understand and get the facts around all of that. We certainly welcome the Ombudsman Commission's review, because hopefully it will shine the light on how the mechanics of how all of that comes together. And when people have the facts, they can make their own judgment. Unfortunately, without those facts, then sometimes interpretations can be erroneous, can be wrong. But the transparency of this transaction clearly will allow people to make up their own minds, and the intervention of the Ombudsman Commission we welcome, because certainly I think getting that information out is very important.
You can catch the full interview with Mr. Botten on a special Inside program airing tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on MTV. Neville Choi, National MTV News.
Shares, I mean, that's a hypothetical question. The government owns the shares.